Sometimes our boating brethren come up with some ingenious ideas, and sometimes some not so ingenious ideas. My man here does have a pretty slick way of moving these rafts up and down the river though. Welcome back to this week's episode of Boneheaded Boaters of the Week. Our first boater this week is going to test those limits between bonehead and genius, and definitely this one goes to the genius end. This is the Nord docking in Bodo, Norway. As you can tell here, we've got some strong winds and currents, and one of the ways my man's helping slow this come into the dock down, he left his anchor down. That's right, they are dragging anchor so they can slow their approach to this dock so they don't just absolutely ram into it. This is a pretty slick idea. Apparently when I looked in the news stories, this isn't the first time this particular boat's done this. They've actually done this several times coming into this dock. Pretty slick, Captain. Pretty slick indeed. Our next boater this week is going to just show us how lucky some people can be. I hope I never have to be this lucky. I have no clue how my man got this close to the dam to begin with. I mean, I would have definitely tossed an anchor or done something before I got this close. Maybe he was fishing the dam, I don't know. And how he got lucky enough there was somebody right here that was close enough to rescue his butt before he went over the dam. I tell you what, man, he's counting his lucky stars, that's for sure. Our next boater was sent in from MT Jones UK1 over on Instagram, and this is from a sailing school over in northern Wales. Apparently he's told me this school has since gone out of business, and in the next two clips we're going to see a little bit why. Here the instructor you'll see in the rib in the background is trying to teach my man here how to ride a sailboard. And in this process he gets himself, well, caught a little off guard and winds up in the drink. I don't know why he wasn't in the drink to begin with, or why he wasn't on a sailboard trying to assist my man. I guess it's a little too cold for him, but not too cold for the student. Needless to say, I'm guessing the student wasn't too overly impressed by my man's skills here, and probably decided to take his sailing lessons elsewhere after this. Our next boater is going to be Sailing School Part 2. That's right, this one was sent in by MT Jones UK1 over on Instagram as well. It actually turns out this is that same exact sailing school over in northern Wales. You can see the sailboat here on the sand, they're about to get out. And of course they're launching that wonderful rib we just saw flip in the last video. Apparently these guys knew a little bit about sailing, but they did not know much about rib handling, as they're about to prove to us right here. That's right, my guys almost get thrown out of this thing trying to come up the wave. Once again, I can understand why this sailing school is now closed. Our next boater is going to show us what it's like getting a little wet coming out of the inlet. Not like some of the haul-over inlet stories we see, but my man's coming out of France here, and he's going to try and get out of this inlet. This one is a bar crossing, so he gets across his first wave alright, but you can tell that second wave that's building behind him, well, that one's likely going to either break on top of him or just before he gets to it, and it absolutely does. My man just launches this right off the top of it. He looks a little stunned at the end of this event here. Heck, he even turns around to check and make sure his motor's still on the back of the boat. Thanks for watching. If you ever see anything crazy happening on your waterways, be sure to hit me up on Facebook or Instagram, and you may see your stories over here on Boneheaded Boaters of the Week. Also be sure to check us out on Wednesdays. We do Boating News of the Week, where we talk about some stories that have happened over the past few weeks and made the news. If you haven't already, drop an anchor on that subscribe button. If you don't, I'm coming to steal your drain plug.